People are unlike any other living creature in our vast ability to learn. Children are like sponges, soaking up everything from language to mannerisms to school subjects like math and science. As we age, learning may seem to come less easily sometimes, but we never lose our ability to learn. The human brain is making new internal pathways and connections every day as we adjust to the changing world around us and pursue new skills and knowledge. Think back to when you were in school. You likely spent a lot of time at a desk where you were given an abundance of information to store and then retrieve when tested. There was often no immediate application of what you were learning to your life. As we mature, we become less efficient at learning this way, and our brains require some basic needs to be met in order to remember and put into practice what we are taught. Let's look at 5 things that improve our brain's ability to learn. Repetition is essential for learning. When we learn, our brain cells make new connections. These are neural pathways that allow information to travel from one brain cell to another. As we review new information or practice skills, those neural connections become stronger and more durable so that we're easily able to activate them later and remember what we've learned. If you've ever heard the phrase, use it or lose it, this is actually true. If you don't regularly stimulate those neural pathways once you've created them, they weaken and eventually may even die. We need to build good, strong pathways through repetition whenever we learn something new. A stress-free, relaxed environment is also crucial for learning. When we don't feel safe and comfortable, our brains emit chemicals similar to when we're in danger. These chemicals shut down parts of our brain that allow us to learn and make it physically impossible for us to think clearly. The brain is constantly checking all incoming information, sights, sounds, emotions, etc. If our brains determine something may be a threat, we go into a type of fight or flight mode, where we can only focus on what we need to do in order to feel safe. This is a real physical response, and it's not something we can control by just bucking up. We think and focus best when we don't feel stressed. The third thing that will improve learning potential is to limit physical stressors. When people are not physically comfortable, it's difficult to concentrate. In fact, if we're hungry, thirsty, hot, cold, or tired, we will struggle to focus on anything other than having these basic needs met. This is our body's natural survival response. Learning in a comfortable environment as well as taking regular breaks can help prevent physical stressors from hijacking our minds and our ability to learn. Number 4 is about breaking information into bite-sized chunks. If you've ever sat in a class where information was presented to you non-stop for hours, you understand why this one is important. Our short-term memory is limited in space, and trying to learn too much at once results in information overload instead of retention. Studies have also shown that people tend to remember most what they learn at the beginning and at the end of a learning event. By breaking new information into more sections with practice and breaks in between, there are more beginnings and ends, and therefore memory increases. The final thing on our list of how we can improve our brain's ability to learn is to take in new information through seeing, hearing, and doing. People may have a preference for how they like to learn. For example, you may have heard someone say, "I'm a visual learner." But the truth is that learning increases for everyone when they use more of their senses to take in information. So someone who watches a demonstration, listens to an explanation, and then practices the new skill will likely learn much better than someone who just does 1 or 2 of those things. You wouldn't want a surgeon who said he just watched a video on how to perform a new surgery on you and he's ready to go, would you? So learning is an art, but it really is a science after all. If we want to be better learners, we need to be giving our brains the best learning environment possible. Keep in mind these key factors. Repetition. Help those neurons make stronger connections. Try to learn in a stress-free, relaxed environment so that your brain doesn't want to fight or take flight instead of learn something new. Be as physically comfortable as possible. Learning takes a back seat to those basic physical needs. Don't try to cram in everything at once. Learn more by learning less at one time. See, hear, and do as much as possible when learning. More avenues into your brain means better learning. We all have the opportunity to become better learners. No one's intelligence is fixed. So try out these tips and keep learning.